What's up guys, it's Kate and welcome back to my channel for another video. Today I was thinking that I would do a full face of Colourpop. Colourpop was one of my favorite brands and I have so many products from them, so I thought it'd be really fun if I did a full face using all Colourpop products. But I do want to primarily focus on their new foundation that I just picked up, which is the Pretty Fresh Hydrating Foundation. I'm super excited to try this out. So if you want to see me do a full face of Colourpop and hear my thoughts on their new foundation, just keep watching this video. As always, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of me, and definitely like this video. It does really help me out. Leave a comment down below if there's anything you want to see from me on my channel. Let's do some makeup. Nailed it. Do you want to focus mostly on the foundation? I am going to do kind of a little bit of a wear test. I'm probably just going to wear it throughout the day and give my final thoughts at the end of the video. Future Kate will come back and give you guys my final thoughts. I don't know what she's going to think about this, but I'm hoping that she likes it. It sounds promising. Also, I already did my brows and I'm loving the soap brow thing. I love how fluffy they are, and yes, one is better than the other. I'm still trying to nail the technique, so no shade towards me, please. So just some stats on the foundation before we get into it. There are 42 shades of this foundation and it retails for $16. You can buy this on the Colourpop website and also at Ulta. Just from my general observations of the foundation, it seems like they really do have a great shade range. I think it covers a wide variety of skin tones, and that's my personal opinion. Personally, I was really stressed when I was trying to find my foundation shade. I'm a neutral undertone and I'm usually light to medium or medium depending on how dark my skin is in the summer. I went with medium 95N and I'm pretty sure it's going to be too dark on me. There were honestly about 3 shades that were right next to each other that were all possible contenders for my shade. I don't know how this is going to go. I self-tanned to try to help the situation, but I don't look very tan on camera, so I don't know how this is gonna go, but we're gonna try it. So since we're using the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Foundation, I thought it was only right that we went in with their hydrating hyaluronic acid primer. So I'm just gonna put a couple pumps. I've used this on my channel before and I do think it's really great. I'm just gonna put some of this e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer in my T-zone. You guys know the drill. Since I use a pore peeling primer pretty frequently, I do want to just see if this is compliant with the foundation. You're looking hydrated. I need a What a Beauty blender, dang it. I'm just gonna use the original Colourpop beauty sponge to put on my foundation. They did recently come out with a bunch of new sponges that I'm really excited to try. All right, so this is what the foundation looks like. Pretty nice packaging, pretty simple, very similar to the primer. It just follows the general aesthetic of the Pretty Fresh line for sure. Just gonna look at the back of the unicarton. It says it's a hydrating foundation with skin perfecting medium buildable coverage for natural healthy looking skin. Prep your skin with the Pretty Fresh primer. That's what it's supposed to do, and that's what we did. Use the Pretty Fresh blending sponge or brush to apply and blend into skin. So we're doing exactly what it says, so if it messes up, wasn't my fault. I think we should start with just one pump. Use my little tray, shake her up. Pretty liquidy formula. Also, this is ideal for all skin types and it has hyaluronic acid. Love hyaluronic acid on this channel. It's known to hydrate and support healthy looking skin, which we need over here. And then also has coconut water, which is known to support hydration and skin softness. So basically, it's gonna hydrate my face and keep it nice and soft. This is a pretty good shade match, Kate. Props to me. It says it's a buildable coverage, but I got my entire face in one pump. I am just gonna do a little bit more because I like to put a little bit more foundation around my lips, just because I find that that's where it kind of goes pretty quickly. Putting like just a little bit more on, not that much at all. This is pretty liquidy, a little does go a long way. So this is what my skin is looking like now. My initial thoughts, I feel like this is a very lightweight formula. My skin feels very hydrated, very nourished. So it isn't super dry. It isn't as lightweight as like a tinted moisturizer. Their Pretty Fresh tinted moisturizer is much more lightweight than this, which can be assumed, but I do think that it looks good. You guys know I have dry skin, and yes, I do have problematic skin, but not in the sense of that I have a lot of breakouts or blemishes on my face. I did have one up here and it did a great job of covering it up, but because I don't have a lot of, texture or things things that I'm trying to cover up. I don't necessarily know if that would be amazing for that, but just by judging how red this one was and how good of a job it did with just like one little tap of my beauty sponge, I think that it would do a decent job covering things up. I think that overall it's a really beautiful finish, and I'm excited to see how this wears throughout the day. Now I'm gonna do the rest of my face makeup, and I'm gonna come back when I'm done with that to do my eyes with you guys. So I'll be right back when I have my full face done. Alright guys, I am back and I just did my face. I just wanted to discuss first how I felt as I was applying everything else to my face. I felt things applied very well. I did notice around my nose area there were some issues setting my concealer that I had placed there, and so I don't know if that was concealer that I was having issues with or if it was my Stay Matte powder from Rimmel that I didn't like. Over here it doesn't look as bad, so I think that was just my mistake. Probably, but everything else seemed to apply very nicely. I went in with my Colourpop bronzer from the Going Coconuts collection. I love that one. I think it looks really great. It worked well with other products as well. Overall, it seems like a good foundation so far, but the wear test will tell us whether or not it's worth your money and if I wasted mine or not. I'm gonna go in with this palette. It's the collab between KathleenLights and Colourpop, the So Jaded palette. This palette is literally everything that you could possibly need or want from a palette. I'm gonna use this brush from Sigma. I'm gonna go in with Rose Quartz, nice transition shade, and I'm just going to fluff that into the crease, and I'm gonna take it out a little bit. If this palette has fallout, we're gonna have some issues. So that gave just a nice transition. I'm just gonna take a smaller Morphe brush. I'm gonna go into the shade Ametrine, I don't know what I'm trying. It's this one right here. It has a shimmer to it, and I am just gonna kind of follow what we just did and focus it kind of on the outer edge more. This is such a basic Kate look, I'm sorry. Building that up and smoking it out on the edge. This color is so pretty. I'm just gonna go back into that first brush that we had, put a little bit more of that Rose Quartz shade on, and just blend everything together, going in circular light motions. I like very mauve-y, purple, ethereal looks. If you haven't gotten that yet from watching my channel. Also, there hasn't been any fallout so far, which is really awesome. I think we'll just go in with something a little bit darker on the outer corner. I'm gonna take something even smaller, and I'm gonna go in that shade next to it. It's called Garnet. It's a nice, ooh, that's pigmented. All these shadows are super pigmented, I love it. I'm just focusing that on the outer corner, and I'm gonna blend that out in just a sec. Just kind of packing that on. I'm gonna go in with that previous brush that we were using, smoke it out. Making sure that's all fluffed together again with that first brush. And I am actually gonna take that smaller brush and just start on the lower lash line. I'm gonna bring that darker color slightly on the outer edge. Now I'm just kind of smoking that out just a tad. I want it to be pretty dramatic. I figure if you're gonna go in with eyeshadow, you might as well just finish it off with a nice lower lash line. There's so many beautiful shimmers in this palette, but this shade Diamond is just calling my name. Ooh, this feels so interesting. It feels like butter. I'm just using that second brush we used and just buffing those two shades together. I'm just adding a little more of that darker shade just to define that crease a little bit more. Now I'm going to take a smaller brush and take that same glitter shade and put it on the lower lash line in the first third. I'm putting this as my inner corner highlight, and wow, this is so beautiful. I'm going to just take Pearl, pretty white shade. I'm just gonna go and do my little boop-de-doopy. Wow, that is beautiful! All right, I'm just gonna go in with the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist. I'm gonna bounce my makeup sponge on my face again. I'm just gonna put on some mascara. This is the Marc Jacobs at Lash Mascara. Okay, and I'm just actually going to finish off with just a clear gloss. This isn't from Colourpop, but this is just the Glossier Clear Gloss. This is literally the best clear gloss ever. Alright guys, so this is what the final look looks like so far today. The skin still looks really great, still looks very hydrated and glowy. I actually really do like it. Just an up close for you guys. I'm gonna wear this throughout the day today, and then I'm gonna come back on here later today and let you guys know my final thoughts on the foundation, how it wore, if there were any issues I experienced throughout the day. But I will say so far, I think it looks pretty dang good. All right, I'll see you guys later. Okay guys, it's only been a couple minutes since I put on this foundation. Yes, I put a sweatshirt on and it's literally 100 degrees outside, so I don't know what I was thinking, but I just like to literally live in my house in a sweatshirt. This is what the foundation's looking like in more natural lighting. My skin looks super healthy and just very natural overall. I'm really liking it so far, but I will definitely check back in later with my final thoughts. I definitely wanted to give you guys just a closer look at everything. Alright guys, I am back after a full day of wearing the new Colourpop foundation, and I'm here to give you guys my final thoughts and opinions. This is what my face is looking like. I've had this foundation on for about 8 hours, I would say, and let me tell you, I've been pretty busy today. I was TikToking, I went out and ran errands, so I was wearing my mask. I've been just lounging around, so I've been like all over my pillows and whatever and doing everything else. So honestly, given all that into consideration, I think that the foundation held up very well. If anything, there's just some issues around my nose, right around here. I said when I was putting on the foundation earlier that I noticed that there were some issues right there. I actually watched a video in the middle of me filming this, and someone actually had a similar experience with the foundation, and they just said the next time that they use only a little bit in that area, just a very small amount. So I'm thinking maybe I just packed it on too much right in that area because I do normally get redness. So next time I'm going to just be more cautious of that and probably just do a light layer and then bake it with some powder, because that is really like the only issue areas. It is breaking up a little bit on my nose. I've blown my nose a bunch today because I just have allergies, so I'm just taking that into consideration as well. But just overall, everywhere else on my face still looks awesome in my opinion. I have no complaints everywhere else. For 8 hours, I normally don't have foundation on for that long, to be completely honest. If this is all happening after 8 hours, like that's pretty dang good, because I'm probably never gonna wear this again for 8 hours. I think that it's definitely worth $16. That's a great price, and it says it's for every kind of skin. I do have dry skin and this worked great. I don't feel like my skin is dehydrated. I don't feel like I'm experiencing any discomfort or itchiness or dryness, which is really great, and that's probably the hyaluronic acid component of the foundation matched with, you know, the primer and the setting spray. So I definitely do think that this is worth a shot. I think that it's a great shade range, it's an affordable price, and I think that it overall wears very well. I personally thought that it built up really great on my face. It said it was a medium to buildable coverage, and I got pretty full coverage in my opinion. Again, I wasn't trying to hide really anything. Maybe it would be different for someone who had more acne scarring or blemishes that they were hiding, so I can't necessarily speak on behalf of that. But I do think that it overall just turned out really great, and I really do feel like I'm going to be reaching for this a lot, especially during the summer and even the winter, because it does have that nice hydrating aspect to it that I'm always searching for. The eyeshadow also just really held up, in case anyone cares. The palette is amazing. Get your hands on it. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope that you guys took something away from it, and if you've tried the new Colourpop foundation, leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts on it, especially if you do have a different skin type than me. I'd love to hear what you think. Before you leave, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of me. Definitely like this video, it does really help me out. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.